Have marching sticks changed over time? Well, let's ask that question. But first, we have to have a base model of something to talk about. So, for that, I have in front of me a couple pair of sticks, but our base model is going to be this right here. This is the Vic Firth MS5s. Very standard marching sticks in Vic Firth's catalog. They are a very beefy marching stick meant to move a lot of air through the drum. They have a barrel-shaped tip on them, and they've also got this lacquer coating on it that is yellow. These sticks have actually been around for quite some time now. Now, what do you mean, have they changed? All right, very basic, nothing crazy about them. I like these sticks, but they weren't always called the MS5s. So let me introduce to you a stick that some younger generation of drummers may not know about, but I know some of the older generations will. And that is the Vic Firth Scott Johnson signature stick. So my personal story when it comes to rudimental marching drumming actually started in the year 2008 when I attended my first ever drum corps show, which was the 2008 World Championships.
Receiving the silver medal tonight with a score of 98.1. 98.1. Blue Devils. Receiving the gold medal, the 2008 Drum Corps International World Champion with a score 98.125, Benham Regiment.
A pretty wild show to be your first ever drum corps show, if you ask me. At the time, the Blue Devils, who Scott Johnson taught, had officially moved over to Promark. Now, in past years, they had used this stick, which is the Scott Johnson signature stick. They used this marching stick. And when compared to the modern MS5, they almost look identical, but there's a couple key features that we're going to go over when it comes to similarities and how they differ today. So starting up here with the tip of the drumstick, we notice also you have to note that the Scott Johnson stick is a little bit older, so it does have a little bit more wear to it. So I can assume that the tip of the drumstick probably didn't have this darker complexion to it because it hasn't been played on. This pair of MS5s is brand new out of the package. But we can see that the beads are very similar. I would say that the MS5 is slightly less round and less smooth in shape. We can tell that these sticks are very much similar. So do they feel any different? This is where my conspiracy comes in. They are labeled as the exact same drumstick, and just from a visual standpoint, they look exactly the same. The thing is, they feel a little bit different. The Scott Johnson feels slightly lighter and thinner than the MS5. Now, that could be just this particular pair, but I've noticed over time when it comes to certain marching sticks, when a signature artist may leave, that the stick may get a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier. But it could just be the pair, because not only do I have a pair of Scott Johnson MS5s that are colored, I have a pair that predates the color. So this pair that I've got right here is a Scott Johnson signature pair with the Vic Firth logo still at the back. There's Scott's signature, the Core Master logo, and the Vic Firth signature at the back, unpainted. And these, in relationship to the MS5, look almost identical. I will say that right up here towards the tip, the MS5 is slightly thicker. Here they are side by side with each other. The tips of the 3 sticks. Now, let's quickly compare that to this. This is an older set of the Promark DC-17 sticks. Comparing the Promark stick with the Scott Johnson, immediately one thing I see is the DC-17 is slightly taller. They feel almost identical. Compare it to the original Scott Johnson from Vic Firth, again, slightly taller. And comparing it with the modern MS5, again, slightly taller. It stands to reason that Vic Firth would have kept the design very similar, if not the same. But the DC-17s, I will admit, do feel more like the modern MS5s in terms of thickness. But I have a question for you. Do post-2000, I'd say 13, drumsticks, when it comes to signature versus non-signature sticks, do they feel different? Has something changed? I really don't know. So what's the purpose of this review? I have absolutely no clue. This may just be me questioning a lot of things, but I swear drumsticks have changed over time. So we have the original Vic Firth Scott Johnson, the post-2000 Vic Firth Scott Johnson, the Promark DC-17, the original one from the old System Blue era, and the modern Vic Firth MS5. Tell me if you've seen any difference in marching sticks over time. Am I insane? Probably.